Welcome back, my friends, to my Media Museum. Here we are with part 2 of box 7 of our 45 vinyl records collection, and we've got Queen doing You're My Best Friend off of my favorite Queen album, A Night at the Opera. And the B-side of that is awesome. Also an awesome song off of that album, 39, which in the year of 39, a simple you know. If you're not familiar with that song, maybe that sparked a memory or two there for you. Next up, we've got Kansas from Monolith doing People of the South Wind. And I absolutely loved Kansas. Kansas was a really great band. And the B-side of that one being Stay Out of Trouble. Yes, we did have Kansas in the previous episode. I probably could have grouped those together, but while I have been doing more going through the boxes and trying to match things up, I haven't necessarily caught all of them and grouped them together. So I wanted the Kansas and the Sticks in the last episode together because I was talking about 45 edits. But anyways, we've got Wings, Paul McCartney, doing With a Little Luck. And on the B side of that one, we've got Backwards Traveler, Cufflink, which I'm not really familiar with that song, but I've got 2 copies of this one here. And, this one I chose to be the main one, even though it's got somebody's signature on it, because this one had some water damage on it. But it's the exact same A and B side, just duplicate copy of the same 45. So, next up, we've got Eric Clapton and his band doing Wonderful Tonight. Yeah, off of Slow Hand. That's a great album, great song. The B-side is Lay Down Sally, another really good song from Eric Clapton and his band off of Slow Hand. So, 1977. Next up, we got another Eric Clapton, and yeah, I do believe we did cover I Shot the Sheriff on a previous episode of one of our 45 boxes. But the B-side of this is different. Willie and the Hand Jive. And you can see that the label's different, being noted as oldie. So it's clearly marketed as a reissue. 1974 for both songs. But like I said, they don't mark oldies on a brand new release, so that's a dead clue right there that was a reissue of the song. Then we've got Three Dog Night up next, doing Just an Old-Fashioned Love Song. And it's clearly marking a nice big A. Love it when they did that. They didn't mark the B, but they marked the A for us. And the B-side being Jam. Now, we may have covered this one, but again, I think the label was a little different on the previous one that I have shown you. Same thing with Nights in White Satin. I have a number of copies of this one from the Moody Blues, and they have various different labels. But this one pops up very frequently when I'm buying boxes of 45s instead of getting them individually. And the B-side of that, though, being Cities. And I don't believe the previous copy that I showed had Cities on the B-side. Plus, it was not as clean looking. This is just a really nice, clean, brand new day it was printed looking 45. And next up, classic song, California Dreamin' from the Mamas and the Papas. I sort of kind of remember this from the movie Congo, and they were shocked that the guys that they had hired started singing this. But All the Leaves Are Brown. Yeah, what a good song. And the B-side of that is Somebody Groovy, which is not a song I'm real familiar with. But be fun to put that one on and give it a spin. And here's another one that, I think has been covered previously in another episode. But December 1963, oh what a night. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, just being called the Four Seasons here. And the B-side of that being Slip Away. I think the previous one that I showed did say Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, but not entirely positive. So I wanted to just go ahead and rehash that one again. Besides, I don't really think it's a crime to repeat some of these that I have so many copies of, whether it's the exact same label as that same edition or not. It's still fun to have them in the mix, the variety. The comments were made that I should list all the 45s in each episode in the descriptions. Well, that'd spoil the fun of it now, wouldn't it? So I don't want to do that. It's just like sitting here listening to them. If you came over and hung out with me and we were listening to these, I wouldn't necessarily tell you what I'm going to play next. So, Seals and Crofts, Summer Breeze, Makes Me Feel Fine. And the B side of that being East of Ginger Trees. East of Ginger Trees. That's kind of an odd title, isn't it? But, I want these to be kind of spontaneous and kind of fun. When we get to the A through Z boxes, which I'll probably do at the very end, when I run out of 45s to show you, that's the bulk of my real main collection where I have bought, sorted through, got the best copies, put them in order, alphabetically by group. And, that's cool and that's fun, but when you're sitting around listening, who wants to listen to 20 songs by the same band in a row? You don't. But here we've got the Union Gap with Gary Puckett doing Young Girl. And the B-side of this one being I'm Losing You. He's losing his young girl. Boy, we got a lot of label wear on that one. That one's been around for a while and has been well loved over time. The Kiss video that I did from box 6 is doing extremely well, and thank everyone for watching that one. And then I've gotten quite a few actually thumbs ups on that. I really appreciate those. Anytime I can get thumbs up, it's encouraging for me to continue doing these. It gives me just a little smile. And Neil Young doing Kentucky Woman here on Bang Records, with the B-side being The Time Is Now. So anyways, I'm aware that I might get more interest if I said what was in each episode and if I grouped the band's 45s together. Maybe later down the road I'll do some more of that. I definitely have enough Beatles, Stones, and Beach Boys right now in a pile that I could do individual episodes for those bands, and I probably will in the not too distant future. So we'll see how those do. Neil Young again doing Song Sung Blue, and it's another one of these MCAs where it's kind of hard to see it. At least you can see it pretty good if I get it in the right angle there. And the B side being Getchy Goomy, and we'll try that again. Well, maybe not so successful that time. But Getchy Goomy on the B side. Song Sung Blue. Do 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 do. And here's a different label, so yeah, I'm going to try and take a second to show this one. The 45 in it doesn't match, but that's not a company that I'm extremely familiar with, having seen their labels a lot. And here's another one that's got a lot of label wear. It's been loved. Probably was owned by a stacker. The Turtles doing Happy Together. And if you don't know what I mean by a stacker, 45s were really marketed towards and geared towards teenagers back in, I think they started in 1949, late 40s, early 50s. And that was one of the things. You could stack the records up on a spindle and it would drop them down. Well, the problem is it's spinning when it drops it. So before it catches and gets some friction, you're rubbing that label on label, and they get really buffed up like this. And this is why you see a lot of that label wear. B-side of the Turtles is Like the Seasons, I believe, what it says. Sometimes it can get a little hard. But White Whale is also a label I'm not real familiar with. So the Turtles on Happy Together on White Whale Records. So this is another really cool sleeve. There's a few different sleeves in this box. Liberty Records. Liberty Records. And what do we have in that? The Grassroots doing I'd Wait a Million Years. Cry a Million Tears, something, something, something. I do know the song, and I'm somewhat familiar with it. It's not one I've heard in a while. Not one you don't hear too much anymore, but it used to play on the radio quite a bit. And the B-side of that, Fly Me to Havana. I'm out of here. So, there again, Dunhill, labels don't match up. We've explained that numerous times in numerous videos now about why that happens. People with jukeboxes not matching them back up after they've been in the box for a while. Next up, we've got The Lament of the Cherokee Nation, Indian Reservation. And you might recognize it by Cherokee Nation, Cherokee Tribe. Don Fargan. I don't know if he's a one-hit wonder or not, but I couldn't tell you another song old Don did. But on the B-side of this one, we've got Dreamin' Room. And I do know that Indian Reservation song really well. My wife likes that one. She's a fan of that song for sure. And then next up, we got Herman's Hermits. Telling you I'm in for something good. Something tells me. The B-side is Your Hand in Mine. Sounds good. And so we're going to wrap this episode up quickly here with a Phil Collins, You Can't Hurry Love. No, it's a remake. Yeah. And the B-side being Do You Know, Do You Care? So, there you have it. That's box 2. Part 2 of box 7 of our 45 vinyl RPM records. And please, thumbs it up if you liked it. It's nice to see those thumbs. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.